Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Hello, curling fans, and welcome to the Martensville Curling Club. It's the Aly Jenkins Memorial Mixed Doubles Spiel here on Curling Stadium and SSN. We have this matchup between Jill and Garret Springer from Regina and Chiaki Matsumura and Yasumasa Tanida from Japan. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Gord Coppathorne. Connor Sims is spinning the dials in the back. And Gord, we should have a good game here. Matsumura and Tanida are quite the good team, and the Springers are 2-1 thus far.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I would have thought the standings might be a little bit the other way around. A lot of times the import teams are higher, but hey, that's why it's a game and why you got to play them all.
Absolutely, Gord. And of the 18 teams in this field, we have 7 of the top 18 teams in the world.
That's always exciting. To a nice little small town Saskatchewan, getting the best of the best brings out the fans.
So how big of a town is Martensville?
I think I drove past it, so not that big. Now, this is setting up to pretty daunting already.
Yeah, it is. Matsumura and Tanida with the hammer, throwing the yellow stones here.
Springer and Springer taking good advantage of a tight guard. It'll be hard to play with that little red rock. Almost too good. It's going to be hard for them to play with it too. That's kind of the fun quirk of this game is you almost have to not overbury your own rock because it can be hard to use it. And you usually need to use your own somewhere near the end of the end. But still scary enough, so they're going to try to move it out of the dead middle. Now the risk is they're calling to make a pocket, and you don't generally want to make pockets for the team without hammer, but we'll see how far they push it.
So here's Yasumasa Tanida. This team is from Nagano. I can't even
Nagano?
talk today. That's the one.
I only know that from, what was it, the Olympics? Nagano?
Yep, and Hokkaido. Nagano, that's what I want to say.
I have not made it to Japan yet, on my list.
Oh, a spectacular place, lots of natural beauty, especially on the island of Hokkaido, which is the northernmost of the main Japanese islands.
So here's a nice gut check moment for you. Freeze would be the default call. Other Springer was that Garret. He's clearly looking, hey, what can we smash? And you would definitely be able to get 2 yellows out, but you'd also lose your shooter, and that's often more detrimental than what you accomplish. So the freeze to me is the right call.
Yeah, it's a lot safer for sure. Now, as I mentioned, the Springers are 2-1. They started with a loss to Vermeshlo and Durskin, and then a win over Kalk and McAlpine, and a win also over Nancy Martin and Steve Laycock.
That's a pair of appreciable wins. Kalk and McAlpine are always a team you got to be cautious of. They throw everything at you for 8 ends, and Martin and Laycock certainly have a resume of success.
to come down to tiebreakers. Team Martin Laycock is looking really good right now because Nancy's covered the pin quite a few times already.
Certainly gives you a level of comfort when you know you're the top of the last stone draw.
Now, there's been some draws since then, but they were looking pretty good.
So now this freeze, you want to stay exactly on that side of the yellow. So that middle red is going nowhere, and it's shot. So this is at least 2 rocks to get it out. That was a very good freeze.
And looking at the road for Matsumura and Tanida, they lost their first match against Nancy and Steve, and then took a loss against Remeshlo and Dirksen, then got a win against the Finnish team of Immonen and Sipila earlier this morning.
All right, this is going to be a angle changer. That's what I call these. You're not throwing it very hard. You're just looking to spread the rocks out a little bit and create a better chance on your next one. That middle red is too well protected, so they're effectively looking to push those yellow ones behind it a little farther out. Give you some wiggle room to smack it next time.
So here it comes from Tanida.
Nice controllable weight. I find quite often mixed doubles, you're either throwing things hacked, a boardish to move, or smash the hell out of it. That was not an option in this case with the guard, so call it a strong hack to just rattle the angles.
It jiggles it a little bit.
That's actually a pretty decent outcome, because if they were to hit that one again, the red would hit the back yellow, which would catch on the back red, and that other middle red would scoot out the side. So that's actually a pretty decent outcome, except for that one red would sit there like a sneaky little duck.
And it almost looks like it's possible to hit it by running that one that's on the top 4 in too.
Certainly potentials.
So that gives them the enviable position of they can't guard everything against you right now.
So they're currently looking at nose hit on that highest yellow. That one would disappear, and one of the back ones would disappear, and you'd probably get that red, yellow, red to be a less straight line. Because right now that yellow one's going nowhere.
And just some confirmation from Martensville Curling Club manager James Gordon. Nancy and Steve have had a 6 of 8 LSD of 2.5 centimeters. That is by far the best.
Horribly disappointed. Let's run with perfect zeros. I wonder how many people could throw 8 straight zeros in different matches on different days.
I can throw 8 straight zeros. They're just missed shots.
All right, so we're looking to, once again, just kind of rearrange everything. Making a bigger pocket at the back would be a nice outcome. That red is fairly well protected.
Is there a way to get at it?
I think you could throw board weight and hit the yellow one you just threw right on nose, and you're going to have 4 or 5 yellows to 1 red. Exactly like that. As long as you can curl it to close to nose. So you're looking no more than board. What you wouldn't want to do is get a tiny little piece and roll your shooter off. That wouldn't be or get it right out. Okay, this looks like throwing the middle one straight back.
So would you call this more aggressive or conservative?
I kind of feel like you could get to it board, but hey, if you're not sure, throw some weight at it.
A little less thought and a lot more throttle. Here comes Tanida.
So looking for just a tiny bit high side of nose.
He's trying to hold the line there. He's going to get it onto the red first. Opens up, not the worst outcome, Gord.
Well, it was also, unfortunately, the wrong way to miss it. If you miss the other way, at least you clear out the front.
So you see they're still shot stone for the Springers. It's very close.
You could actually hit like a quarter of that right red and spin both reds out. So Springer and Springer have to be really careful that they don't leave that just sitting there.
Yeah, and that's for a gazillion. Or 4.
Freezing the front one, you could corner freeze the front yellow to both protect that slash and kind of sit, well, that'd be 5th. A little nudge of it also wouldn't be terrible because you could push that red deeper onto the back yellow, as long as, again, you're hiding that double. End of the day, the right side of the sheet is the danger for Springer and Springer, so you got to make sure you're covering that. As long as they don't have the double, the worst they're going to do is a tap-tap for a measurable 1. So let's see what they decided. You got guard, you've got corner freeze, you can jiggle things a little bit. Let's see what they picked. Judging by the line, that looks awfully guard, freeze max. Got to be fully in front of your red. Because if you show an outside 2 inches, you're in trouble.
This needs to just sit.
Don't want to curl too much. All right, so that's decently killing that double. They could send that yellow one straight back. I don't think it would move the right yet red. So you'd maybe get 1. That's that kind of measurable scenario.
Yeah, send it straight back. You probably do get
maybe
1.
It nudges that red on the way by. The angles don't look great for it. Regardless, they're going to give this run back another try. Let's see if Tanida has it in her to basically straight back.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
All right, Chiaki Matsumura. Final stone of the first end.
Little inside out, more in the control to normal.
Going straight on the car side. Needs it to come on over, and it will not.
Nope.
So that is going to be
steal of at least 1, possibly 2.
Yeah, 1 for sure.
They seem to think it's decisive, so that must be a steal of 2 for Springer. We'll be back in just a couple.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
And welcome back to Martensville. A single point stolen there by Springer and Springer. Gives them a 2-stone advantage.
Was a steal of 2, my friend.
Oh, a steal of 2. I'm sorry.
No,
It's the second end. My bad. Dave Schmel, incapable of counting, and he scored Coppathorne, and we're happy that you're here with us. Thank you, Connor.
Very clear. It's 2-0.
And Connor, the sarcastic Sims, is on the production.
All right, so that was a beautiful end of mixed doubles. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. Rock rearranging, a couple of harder, riskier shots, and everybody is kind of holding their breath. This end is already shaped up to be round 2 of the same game of slaps. 2 beautiful draws down the middle.
Game of slaps, that's a new one for me.
Taking your turn, smacking each other in the back of the hand. My turn, my turn, my turn, my turn. I always find mixed doubles is such a game of subtle angle changes to really see who's going to blink first. And then suddenly an angle pops out in your favor and you take your shot at the big score.
And that's why we see so many games where you think a team's out of it, and all of a sudden you say, whoa, there was 4.
You definitely see more 6-enders, which is the perfect score in mixed doubles, than you do 8-enders and 4-man.
I mean, so much so that you generally don't even stop to take a picture of it.
This is not wrong. As a coach, I've been in participant of 2, and I didn't take a picture of either, so I'll roll with you on that.
That's fair.
All right, so, uh-oh.
Just a little bit too far. That's going to slide on back.
And that also put that yellow into a happier angle on the red. That back yellow is not going anywhere at the moment. So Tanida is kind of saying on the inside of the yellow, but that's actually a dangerous idea. That gives them a way to kick out both yellows without touching any of the reds. Considering they have hammer, I could even see something like back 8 on that red. Nudge it over a little and spill your yellow towards the other one. This is a way to sit 2, but you're giving an opportunity to the springers that you probably don't need to. You can even afford to be a little bit higher up, like bite top 4. I'd be uncomfortable with freezing the inside of your own. The run backs aren't a gimme, but if they throw that one straight back, then they're sitting 3 and there's no yellows left.
So Yasu kicks out with this one.
Well, they seem to be happy with the line.
And now we're just going to hold it straight just the last couple licks.
Well, that's what they asked for. In the world of angles, I'm not sure I'd love it. Freezing it down onto the red one saves them a bit. But you can even see here, the springers are thinking, how do we make an action on this front yellow in any manner to kick the other yellow out?
Looks like they're going to come right down onto it.
Yeah, you could certainly do this with just, heavy draw to push them around a bit. You'd be perfectly happy kicking the second yellow just half out of the 4-foot, and it's a catcher for things. The interesting thing is the team that's trying to steal wants all the rocks tight to the 4-foot, and the team that's trying to score with last rock having hammer generally wants them spread out farther. It tends to work better for you.
So Garrett's going to make a mound visit here. That's his first of the game. He has 5 remaining.
And who's counting? Looks like he's thinking sort of similar. Is there a way to do this with some weight? Which, of course, would have to be the run back.
Well, Once again, thank you everybody so much for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to Curling Zone yet, please do. We'd really appreciate it. And if you're watching over in Japan, either Ohio, good morning, or my goodness, go back to sleep. But no, please stay on with us. Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you so much for watching us.
All right, we've settled on Fireball. Peel down the middle.
Fireball is on the way. It needs to curl up just a touch.
Ooh.
It's going to run past everything.
Half an inch from excellent.
And it goes right into the corner.
Still not bad, though, because, well, they got to be careful. Those two yellows are so easy to double out. I wonder if they're regretting that choice now. You got to throw a perfect guard, or you need to change those angles.
It's my credo, no regrets. Did you see that movie? We're the Millers? No?
No.
Oh. It was funny. The guy from The Hangover was in it. The guy who was the dentist. The guy who was the dentist. So yeah, it was funny.
I like what they're thinking here, which is guards too hard, not beneficial enough. Let's change things up a bit. And kind of what I was saying before, if they spread their rocks out, then they're in a better position to score at least a pair. There's a lot of ice for moving rocks around.
We've been getting a lot of finish here. But I do agree that's an awful lot.
It would be nice to be, I don't know, what would you call it, 3/4 on the high side of that top yellow, just to chap it to that back red, basically. Another little fascinating aspect. Neither of them has the sweeper at the home end with them. You don't need to have somebody in the house holding the broom, but each team has their preferences.
Well, it is a sure thing that line calling is better from the house.
Correct. All right, they settled on guard after all that.
That's a well thrown guard at that.
Absolutely brilliant. Springer squared is probably going to do the same thing because the benefit is really high. The only difference, of course, is it's now a yellow rock instead of a red one. Given that yellow's sitting too, it's hard to pick something else.
Yeah, it really seems like the only acceptable course of action.
I can't imagine there's enough curl to play anything with hack. At the best, you'd chip a chunk of the front yellow. That's not going to give you a particularly good outcome. The upside of the peel, because you got 2 rocks left, is it also forces Matsumura to do it again. So you basically burn a rock. But play into the 4-foot is where they're going. So this side here, you'd basically do yellow into the yellow and push it to the back 4-ish 8. And hopefully you don't roll off. You could do it the other side and push the yellow over by your other red. Also an option.
So the stone on the way from Garret Springer. Last one for him in the second end. 3rd of 3.
Sweep for some weight. They like the line.
Gonna be really close to the guard. Do you squeak by?
Woo.
No, you just chip off. Now stay
it was
awake
a
and
little
stay
late.
with it. Stay with it. Oh boy, is there a triple on the Reds back now? I don't know.
Well, in the world of good and bad misses, that wasn't a good one.
So that would go in that bad bucket.
The bucket of bad, file it there. Oh, they got by, even frozen to the front when you had something to work with. They were still sitting to, but you had something to work with. That's bad news. I like what their brain is at with freezing onto their yellow one. It's kind of a setup shot, but still leaves the Springer smash to bail out. The triple, you got to get that, what did you call it, about 3/4, so your shooter's going to roll pretty far. To do the triple, you probably lose your shooter.
Right. And then the shot back, Springer smash, kills 2 more.
Yeah, and that back red one's not actually hurting you any.
So definitely some consideration here.
I wouldn't be against moving the red one. You don't need to hit it hard. You could freeze your own on the right side, kind of get into the 3 together. And then that triple looks really juicy on your last one.
Just through.
Pretty much put your yellow somewhere in front of all that and you're likely in good shape.
There you go. That's, calling the best color commentator on Curling Zone for nothing, folks.
You've got a target of about 4 feet wide and a foot deep. Throw it in there somewhere.
We have 3 other games going on right now, and we'll give you score updates as they come in. But we do have Martin Laycock versus Kalkin McAlpine. The Langs against Dahmen and Van Amsterdam. Yep, the other one. And it's Remeshlo and Dirksen versus Immonen and Sipila.
Well, I like this. You want to be high side on your own. Even a tiny little tap wouldn't hurt you.
So Yasumasa Tanida with it on the way down. Just looking to lock on in. They both like it. Past the guard, no problem. It's going to settle on in, snuggle in, and get on her blankie.
That is a real nice spot for that. Technically, the red, you don't need the triple. Technically, the red double is still there. You could do that again and score 3 for sure. So yellow's in a happy place. If I'm red, I'm wondering what I can freeze to and only give up 2.
Freeze to the one in the back, maybe?
Except for you hit the yellows in any way and that red one naturally pops off.
Right.
You can't get close enough above the L of Flynn or fly on or whatever that word is.
I'm assuming it's Flynn.
If you could cozy it into that little, right there. But you need to at least be third. Could you throw back 8 on that front yellow and spin it out to the edge somewhere?
Could you be, I don't know, a little less cozy and move that stone like they're indicating?
That's what I'm debating is do you kind of bounce off your own or do you bounce off the front one?
I think that's what the Springer's like.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like hit yours almost flush and just slide sideways into that sort of pocket. And you could even nudge that yellow one up and over. That'd be good. So then you're basically saying you've got 2. That's all you've got.
We'll call it the hip pocket.
There you go. Smoke your own and cozy into the hip pocket. And nobody has a clue what we just said. I don't see a lot of choices. You're basically doing this as basically a double between yours and that front yellow and stay frozen.
So tough shot here for Jill Springer. They're in a bit of a pickle here in the second. Her last.
plenty of weight. No sweepers.
Yep,
That's
the
scary.
die is cast. It's going to be what it is. It comes over the 016 off their own.
Oh, nice shot.
Oh, and that locks on pretty well, Gord.
That's about as good as they were going to get. So now, do you try something daring, which probably wouldn't work out for the 3, or do you just scooch that yellow up a tiny bit? There's room for it. The 1 foot tap.
Yeah, I think you just tap that up there and you get 3 right there.
There's no risk. Other than doing it way too heavy, but let's assume they aren't going to do that. Because you can nudge your other one a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. We're going for the 1 foot quarter rock tap. This was a beautiful example of how a run back can be a savior or a horrible thing. If they made that run back, they were in great shape. They missed that run back, and then, Matsumura and Tanida just hung them with it.
Matsumura with her final stone of the second. They sit 2. Just looking to tap up for a 3rd. On the carve. This does need to come over a good way. Now it does. Did they overcarve it? No, I think they did it just right. And there you go. That's 1, 2, 3. Count them and hang them. It's a 3-2 lead. We'll be back from Martensville after this.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting 10-fold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
And welcome back to the Martensville Curling Club. It's the Aly Jenkins Memorial Mixed Doubles here on Curling Stadium. It was a big 3 for Matsumura and Tanida, and it was because of this shot, Gord.
This was exactly as they scripted it. You needed the right weight, and you had about half a rock to hit. Whisker heavy, but that was the safe side. Nice manage. They got up and followed the rock. They actually got it a hair thicker than I thought they would, but didn't matter. They had catchers. So brilliant shot for a squeaky little 3.
So here we are coming back. The Springers have the hammer. That first opening draw by Chiaki did not exactly get to the face there. And the follow-up by Jill did not exactly get deep enough in the house.
Ooh, that's a double haunt shot. That's kind of what we call it the Bermuda Triangle. You don't want to rock fully under the guard and not biting the forefoot, because it's basically now a double guard for your opponent, and they're going to drop another one in the forefoot. You just got to let those ones die and at least have a half a rock you can chase or something. So anyways.
Right. Yeah, I fully agree with you. That's a standing rule if I'm skipping. If I call for a 3 guard, if it's not going to be a 3, I want it top 4. Make it something worth guarding later.
So now Tanida here has a freebie to put one on their own, top of the button, and Springer Squared's going to be chasing all end long.
So this is the key shot early, the first from Yasumasa.
He might have given it back.
And that is gonna chunk off of that.
Now,
Blink.
not horrible for them, because that's not aimed at the forefoot. And they're sitting on almost the pin. So they got away with a mistake, but it wasn't ideal by any means.
And we assure you that it is actually the Springer's turn. It's just that one camera's frozen. There we go. There's Garret ready to go.
All right, so now they're looking to freeze on the inside of this, and that's going to set them up good for a 2. Capitalize on that. Oops. Such a game of mistake and counter mistake. When you only have 5 rocks to throw, it compounds quickly.
There's a good wide shot at the beautiful facility here in Martensville. Nice 4-sheeter. Springer gets this one past the guard. Now trying to carve it in with the last few strokes. And that's going to be right there on the corner and on the pin.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Now we're back into the trading taps and jiggles.
Yeah, I like the out.
There's enough curl here. You can get to nose. If you could push that back 2 feet, that's a pretty good spot to be.
We should get Jello to sponsor it so it could jiggle.
Wiggle and jiggle?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even be against being light here. If you're frozen to that red one, not an easy way to score 2.
So Tanida. Comes on up and hops on it. This looks light and narrow.
That's what he did with his last one.
This is going to be very close to the second guard. It's going to come in contact with it and nestle in there into the 8-foot. So how do you make that oops into a oh yeah?
In terms of the Springers or?
The Springers, yeah.
Well, it's a bit ballsy, but you could play the yellow, red, yellow, and you'd be sitting 4. Even if you just straight back with it, you're sitting 1, 3, 4, 5. I don't think there's enough room to go between them. The one camera looks like you could, but I don't think you need to. So I would hit that one, knows it's fine, clip the red on the way by, you're almost cashing your check. I'm not sure I'm in love with the weight they're looking to play.
It looks like they're playing a significant amount of weight.
Generally, as a rule, I advise people to do things with like 11 or 8. 11, you can jump up, chase, manage. Your rolls are easier to control. You got to keep your shooter. Or 8, you just move a bunch of rocks. This seems more like a 10, 11 kind of shot. Even if the yellow only scooted to the back 12, you're still in a good place. Anyways, they chose a little more than that.
So Garret Springer looking to put himself in a very good place. Just a heavy clean. Jill watching the line, still watching it. Still just cleaning it. Now we're just going to let it go. Coming. Oh. Oh. Missed it by the hair of a chin by a peach fuzz.
Oh, they threw a weight they were comfortable with. They knew how to read it. He was ready.
They thought they had
didn't
it.
want to roll out. Rolling out would have been bad, but man, this is just almost painful to watch. We're talking a quarter inch. Oy
vey. I was getting all ready to say, and there's a beautifully made shot.
Still good. You're sitting.
Well, it's still good.
But
that's not bad.
You had the taste of the candy, and you got a carrot stick. Oh well. Moving on. This is
celery. Celery's worse.
Well, that's why it wasn't bad. It was a carrot. You still got a carrot. You didn't get, a lump of coal. Anyways, okay. Focusing. This looks like they're scooting through that port, which is not a big port, but if you get through and nudge the red, that's a good shot.
So
Tanida would be audacious. This looks guarding weight.
This looks very guardish.
Ooh, considering the shot that Springer's just threw and barely missed, a guard is a dangerous call. Well, they were trying to go through, just light again.
Little case of the lights.
They got a bit lucky. They scooted up to be, what's that, fourth?
Yeah, it does count the one for sure.
Curled enough that it's not an obvious one to hit. I'm picturing that. Yep, just bump, bump, bump.
Just off edge.
I'm thinking like hack. They're clearly thinking more. I like hack here because even if you kind of miss it, good things come out of it. You can rub off the back of the yellow. You can just jiggle things around. I would be remiss to see anything more than the board might scare me.
As long as you rub it the right way.
That's more ice, so they're definitely throwing less weight.
Yeah, board adjacent.
I just find a lot of cases people get so fixated on taking the opponent's rock out when that's not the necessary outcome. It just needs to get to the 8-foot. But anyways, it's a comfort shot. Pick the weight you're comfortable throwing.
So Garret Springer.
Once again, up and ready.
He is up and ready, still up and ready. Still ready. Now on the carve. This one is way outside. They do get away with it. But did he leave that bailout draw?
That actually might have worked out really well for them. If that front one had rolled just a tiny little bit less, you'd have been happier. Can you get it around the yellow to freeze?
I think you can. I think that's the best shot in the sheet to make.
They're looking at the tap, but I don't think that's easier.
Heavy. Can we go by?
Yeah. Hammer. Yeah, I don't think the tap's easier. I'd agree with you.
The only upside to the tap is you could push a red out of the 4-foot, but you're kind of pot committed to welding on that back red now.
Well, it looks like they're playing the tap.
It's pretty much straight back.
So Chiaki, Matsumura.
Now
come and have a mound visit.
Mound visit. Well, the danger here is with the tap, you still have to basically end up frozen. You can't bounce off of anything. So the mental math is tougher because you're throwing like back 8, back 12, and got to get the line right, and got to get the sweep right. The draw, if it'll curl enough, is easier because you should know how to draw the pin in mixed doubles. Even if you ended up just a full rock in the 4 foot, it's going to be hard to do anything against it.
That is their second mound visit.
Back button.
But in very important time, so there was a time to talk about it. This is it.
Seems a bit of he likes tap, she likes draw. And in this scenario, it's what is the thrower most comfortable with? But they're sticking with the tap.
Yep. I thought he's going to crab walk one more step out there. You had to be a curler to have that move in your repertoire.
All right.
So here we go. They're looking.
Tap.
Yep, they're looking for the tap. They had to tap it right to the button, on it, hard for the line. Now we're off. We like it. Back and forth. It's really close to good. Promote it up. Got to get past it. Doesn't come far enough. That's not bad. They lie second.
That was nice.
Now,
is the yellow red aimed at it?
I think it just might be.
And you got the drag working with you. You'd be hitting the right side.
A lot of room there to drag, I think.
I'd be trying it. How can you not try that?
Oh, anytime it's something like that for a gazillion, absolutely.
Now, you don't want to overhit it because you'll take away some of the drag. You also want a little bit curl to work with you. But yeah, hit about a half of that front yellow. The drag will pull the red to the, as we're looking at it, right. And you should get at least a half of the yellow one.
So this is a huge shot and a huge opportunity.
Yeah, this is back to the candy bucket. This is a shot you want to try every day. Sit in one, chance for 4.
She's going to dig all the way down to the bottom, find that good stuff the neighbor was hoping the kids wouldn't get. Final stone of the third. Looking to throw this little drag shot for 4.
It's out there.
It is way out there. It does need to come over. It's coming up. Will it come up enough? It's going to be close. It gets it moving the right way. Oh, but not far enough. And it's only a single point for the Springers. We're all tied up after 3. We'll be back from Martensville after this here on Curling Stadium.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Welcome back to Martensville. It was a really close effort there by the Springers to try to score a big end up in a single point.
Oh, it's so... You got 2 big misses out of Tanida with those late draws, and you only got a 1. It's kind of... How do you not feel a bit disappointed?
Absolutely. I don't know if Connor has that one in the replay can, but love to take another look at that attempt.
And how much are they not kicking their ankles for missing that? I guess you call it run back on Garrett's.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a key opportunity there. Here's another look at it, Gord.
So she comes out, has plenty of weight, but she looks like she floated it a hair. So they had to wait, and they had to wait. And then, okay, we're going to try to get some curl into it, but you still need to get into the break. And it sure tried, but they needed a decent chunk more of that. It was certainly there, but just not quite enough weight.
So that first draw comes to the top 4. And now Matsumura with her stone.
These are always kind of sneaky when there's one sitting at the top 4 like that. Do you corner freeze that one? You try to scooch past it and corner freeze your back one. There's opportunities in both setups. Oh, there you go. Chunk it over. That's all fine too. There's that whole spread the rocks around. That's usually much more advantageous for the scoring team. It's nice that they have enough curl here that they can play that kind of shot.
Yeah, it's been good ice conditions thus far this weekend for sure.
All right, springers already are thinking, I'm not loving this. Got no choice. Weld another one in there, a little better.
Try to make it more better.
Be more better. That's the catchphrase of the U.S. girls team I coach. Be more better. They hate it when I tell them that, but it works.
I have a friend of mine and former member of my club and actually one-time color commentator on Curling Zone who would just say, be better.
I just have to make it grammatically challenged with a more. Speaking of which, don't you wish that was 2 feet more? So that your other red was a valuable shot? Because it was too heavy for a freeze and too light to keep your other red relevant.
The dreaded in between.
Man, if Matsumura and Tanida keep just spreading those rocks around, they might have a shot for 3 or 4 just all of a sudden appear out of nowhere. Almost feels like a power play when they spread out like this.
Don't know how much I like the freeze.
The upside to the freeze is it's kind of a setup to bring those other yellows into play. The downside is it's giving the Springer squareds more freeze opportunity. So I think I would be moving that red one. Even if you kiss that yellow, it's not going to hurt you. Put those 2 reds near each other.
This looked like ice to move it just a skosh. Already on the carve. This is a little more weight, I think, than they bargained for.
It's got to get up there.
And get up there it will. Where it's going to hang to.
It's going to hang 10. A hair thicker, but that's still decent.
Yep, right there, the outside edge, at the edge of the 10-foot circle.
Boy, Springers are switching gears into defense.
I think you have to, Gord.
Well, you are sitting 3rd, so you could freeze the back one again. Hit and roll's fine. You could even get a double on the back ones. That would be good. Yeah, this is one of those gut checks because you could put a red in that red-yellow clunk in the back there, and it's not going to go anywhere.
Fair.
Do we care about the shooter? It's probably never coming into play with yeah, but
So here's Garret. He hops up on his stone right away.
It's like a 9 or firm.
Skid it just a little bit in the beginning, it looks like. Now he's more happy with it.
Too thin would be the danger here.
Getting the 1 and the 2, a nice downweight double and a beautiful roll. Great shot by Garret Springer.
So here you go. The defense is what it is. They're going for the double, the roll or the double, preferably both. And he pretty much nails them both. Good teamwork on the line call. Again, too thin would have been the danger. So bang, bang, 2 in the corner. Rolled just about a half rock too far, but really quite a decent shot there.
Does he get to get a piece of candy for that?
Better than a carrot stick. Except for you've left them bang and flop better, and it'll move a red one back. So they'll be sitting 1 and 3, both under the guard. That's the only downside of having rolled a little too far.
So the stone on the way from Tanida. And he's on his own right for line off the jump.
This one's all about the roll. You don't really care about what happens in the back.
Squeezes past the guard. Gonna pop and flop, dead bisecting the center line.
Brilliant shot. That's where Garret wanted to be. The double was nice, but that's where he wanted to be with the roll. Now they are again thinking run back might be the savior. They might chunk it out the way, what was that? Matsumura did that on her first? Maybe it was Tanida's. Anyways, that kind of just punch it back. The downside is you punch it back and you're still leaving all your reds on one side of the house. But that rock's so good, you got to move it.
You see Chiaki getting ready for the 4th end there. Gunning for the snack.
What did we pack today? Baby bells and pepperoni sticks? Orange slices?
Carrot sticks?
Waiting for the Gatorade promo to pop up. This end brought to you by Gatorade. It wasn't, but that's what I'm waiting for.
And and you can send that email to info@curlingzone.com for more advertising information.
So I don't know if they settled on corner freeze it or push it. Either of them have merit.
I'll read a live read for anybody who's willing to give us money, Gord.
We'll even persuade them with a few teaser calls. So this looks kind of corner freeze, which is funny because they switched to defensive hitting on the last one, and now they're back to freezing their way out of trouble. So they could have just frozen the last one. Won't go there. This is...
Just a skosh too heavy. But not terrible.
No. They left yellow sitting 1, but that was pretty much going to be there no matter. Can't get to the inside of the red with any kind of weight, so it's hard to move it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could move it out of the scoring area probably from the intern side if you decide to get really up close and personal with the guard.
Mm-hmm. If I'm yellow, I'm thinking, how do I leave myself the draw for 2? How do I give them something they have to deal with, and I'm hopefully going to have the draw left? I'm not sure I'd do it now, because you might leave a double, but there's also a lot of catchers, so I get that. Corner freezing the red one cuts your own draw off, so then you'd have to go with the out turn. So, yeah, freezing your own, it's got potential.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a bad choice.
Even maybe a bit on the high side so that if they hit it, it would push into that back red. That would be... Yeah, I get this. I'm okay with this. Because even if springers play on it, you're going to be sitting at least one.
That was the king crab walkover there by Chiaki.
All right, freeze your own. Springers will be baited into hitting something. Then maybe you got a shot for 3, but probably 2.
Step 1, let's throw this freeze. Yasumasa Tanida with his final stone of the end.
Still, yeah, nose-ish. Somewhere nose-ish. Freeze them up.
On this hard for the line, it's curling hard. They
Uh-oh.
are going to just get past the guard. It's a lot of weight, though. They still lie, too.
That was a bit toasty. I'm not. You
Can you ever hit the living daylights out of them and make it all fly?
I'm picturing a triple all day. If you hit kind of a third of the rock on the right, catches the back yellow, goes over top the red, that yellow goes back off the other one. Not sure. Not sure you can get past that guard because you really got to get to. Well, no, it's because you got to get a third. That's right. Daring. Worst case scenario is you give them a chance for 2 because that back yellow one with weight should bounce out past those 2 reds.
Yeah, the only thing you can't do is wreck, and you can't flash.
Yeah. Now you could hit this front red one, take out 1 yellow, and that's
if you might get you might be able to get a cutesy little spin up and lie shot.
The triple is a better outcome. The short raise to take the front yellow out is safer.
Probably easier too.
Yeah. And then your shooter would be buried high on the center line, cutting off the draw. Kind of a preference shot at this point.
So we'll find out what the survey said.
I'm curious with the triple if the back, like the middle yellow, just kind of stuffs. Because if it does, that wouldn't be good.
I do kind of think it sticks, but
yeah, and then they got to draw for 2, which is pretty much the same outcome as the slash on the front one, a shot of some sort for 2. Let's see which turn they pick, then we'll know. Kind of looks like they're going to play the out turn, so I'm picturing red into the yellow. Leave it on the center line.
So here we go. Jill Springer with our final rock of end number 4.
Now you either want your shooter to stay high or get completely out of there. Depends on where you're making this contact.
This is turning nicely. Needs to come up just a skosh more. It does spin up, and that's a pretty good angle. They are shot stone right now. But is that little crotch shot there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't have been playing that to be shot rock. I'm actually wondering if there's enough curl to get to the red one with back 8.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's got to over curl quite, but that's a high guard. Well, reasonably high. Safe shot is yes, come off your own and kick that red one sideways. But I don't know if this was I don't know. If I was a little daring, I might try to just push that red one 2 feet, and then you get 3.
I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing.
Let's see what weight they pick.
So here we go. Final stone of end number 4. Chiaki Matsumura.
Ooh, up quickly.
To brush it right away. Looks like they're just looking to play off their own. Nope, they're past the guard. Can they get to the red? Can they get to it? They get to it, and they're going to get 2. So nice shot, great outcome. They take a 2-stone lead after 4. The Springers will have the hammer in 5 when we come back from Martensville after this.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
And welcome back to Martensville. It was a 2-ender for the team from Japan. And you see that opening draw there. Comes back and taps the Springer Stone back just a skosh. They trail by 2 here in end number 5 at the Aly Jenkins Mixed Double Memorial. Dave Schmel and Gord Copperthorne with you. Connor Sims turning the dials, making the magic happen. And just a minute, we'll take a look around the barn and give you an update on some of our other games.
Well, we're off to a pretty standard start. Freeze the back, freeze the freeze to the back, except for this is going to be in the Bermuda Triangle.
And we're doing that again.
So if they'd have left that one a foot short of the house and mostly open, you can use it. You put it there, and it's even hard to tap it into the 4-foot. So that's like 2 feet too far.
So over there on sheet 3, right next door, we have Rameshlo and Dirksen trailing by 2 from Immonen and Sipala. And, well, that was a lot for the Langs and not enough for Damen and Van Amsterdam. That game is over after 3. And over there you see a barn burner between Martin and Laycock with that big steal of 3 by Martin and Laycock to bring that game in there. Deuces for Calca McAlpine. So great game over there on sheet 1. But we got a nice one over here too, Gord.
Indeed. It's been a lot of fun. Every end's been something exciting. All right, so they got a freebie. Springer and Springer gave them that quasi double guard. So now again, let's try to put this on our own in the button.
He puts on his welding helmet, gets out the torch.
Maybe a little bit of Gorilla Glue.
That stuff's pretty good, Gorilla Glue.
I settle for duct tape most of the time. I'm Canadian. So this one you want to leave off. You want to be high side. Okay.
That's I think you get away with that, buddy.
Yep, that's success. I was afraid they were going to cross the nose again, but nope, success. And we're into the chase. Fun little fact. Kind of been tracking it over the years. on the first rock, if one team clearly outthrows the other, as in this one here, you give Japan 4 for theirs and a 1 or a 2 to the springers. If you outthrow on the first one, it's about a 65% chance you're going to score or score big. It's a fun fact of mixed doubles because it takes 2 shots to untangle that mess.
And you only get 5.
Exactly. It takes at least 2 and you only got 5. So now you get into chasing, and chasing is a horrible feeling end after end after end.
Another fun fact, there's about 25 different flavors of Kit Kats available in Japan.
Twinkie. Ooh, if they'd caught that red one, they'd released a lot of pressure.
But it still comes in, and that pressure remains, and they're going to try to dial it up again. So just back with the straight guard here, eh, Gord?
I would go guard, let them run it again. Probably guard, let them run again, and then freeze back on my own with the last one to be 3 in a row. On the assumption that the run back doesn't succeed. That middling red in the top of the 12 is such a nice second guard. Obviously, you can crisscross it and smash things in the middle, but that's just kind of a risk you're willing to leave. I question if Springer Squared is willing to say, let's just start playing in the 4-foot. And this is a bit tighter than I was expecting them to throw.
I think they might take one more whack at this, because if you catch it, run over the top, you might be able to run your own red in there too. Do a lot of shifting and shafting and jiggling and jostling.
As long as you don't get high on it and just go ba-bang. So yeah, you got to be over the red one, even if you just straight peel. You'd be really disappointed with yourself if you put this almost straight back into that red.
So Garret needs to come up with a big shot here to interested parties there in the lounge.
He's definitely not going to hit it thick.
Bang, bang, onto it, scatter him. And a tactical nuclear weapon just went off on sheet 4.
Fireball. All right, here we go. Japan, a little too close together with those two. So Springer, Garret with the heater down the middle. I thought it was a little wide, but it comes up nicely. Bang, bang, kadunk. 2 yellows in the corner and nothing in the middle.
And back to square one.
We might get an opportunity for an elusive blanked end.
Well, you don't want to do that in doubles, though, do you?
No, but it still happens from time to time, and it's entertaining. So now, Japan's probably saying, let's just force them one. This is no longer even remotely a stealable situation.
Just play the big split.
You might get tempted into the guard, but then they're just possibly going to freeze your own, and now they're using your guard. So, yep. Split the house, force one. That's where my brain's at. And to your point, a blanked end is a bad thing because they would switch hammers. So Springers have no interest in a blank. It's a fun rule of mixed doubles that sometimes wish would make its way to other levels of the game, but yes.
Then I think after this, we might see Matsumura and Tanida engage the power play.
It's the right time of the game. 6th end is typically where you see one of them played. Up 1 with hammer, power play in the 6th. That's a great position to be in.
So just looking to put a lot of green between these.
Looking a little greasy here. It's got to stop.
It's going to settle. So you just try to play the freeze here, right?
Or hit and roll in front of the yellow. One of the two. Freeze is good. You want to be center line side so that if they hit it, it may catch on that other yellow. I don't know how lively these rocks are, but it's hard to throw a freeze that can't be doubled out. So that's why you think of that yellow one might come into play.
We had in our last draw something that appeared to be just about the most perfect freeze ever, and it was able to be cleared. So they are lively stones. I'm not saying you can't make the freeze, it's just, it's got to be that good.
Mm-hmm. This looks a little warm.
Looks not frozen.
Kiss of death. Rolling off of a freeze. Kiss of death. The opponents have the choice to do whatever they want to, and it's usually very detrimental to you. So in this case, luckily everything's under the T line, so they're going to hit and roll over in front of their own, and they're going to have basically a gimme draw for one. That game's 3. All right, yeah, hit and roll anywhere to anywhere. Heck, you could even roll out and it really wouldn't change the outcome.
See rock, hit rock.
Springers have 1 rock left and they don't want to blank. Nothing fancy here. Plunk.
She saw it, she hit it.
I don't think you are.
They were kind of thinking, hey, it'd be nice to roll in front of our own, but again, everything's in front of the T line, so they were going to have the choice of draw or hit no matter what you did. You almost wanted to goad them into the hit for a potential oops.
So it looks like they want to hit for it.
No,
relatively safe.
You'll almost always hear someone go, oh, if you can't make the draw, you shouldn't be skipping. And I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, you got to pick whichever one's your comfort. And, you know, Jill's thrown quite a few hits in the last few ends. So
to be fair,
draw is
yeah.
not exactly a gimme at this point.
Yeah, and the average age of the person that says that the curling club is deceased.
I would say the draw is statistically higher likelihood, but a hit and stick is also a fairly high percentage. So comfort does come into play.
And especially here, you could even catch it on the wrong side and have a little catcher there. Final stone of the 5th end. Just need to hit and stick for a single. Coming up. Looks just fine. Going to use the catcher. There it is. 1 point on the board for red. It's 5-4 after 5. We'll be back from Martensville here on Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada. like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock.
Welcome back to the Martensville Curling Club, and this is the Aly Jenkins Memorial Mixed Doubles Spiel in her loving memory, sponsored by the local flooring group. We're back here. It was a single point for the Springers. Chiaki Matsumura and Yasumasa Tanida have a one-stone lead with Hammer here playing in end number 6. And Gord, it is time for the power play.
What was it? Super duper awesome power play?
Super crazy awesome power play.
So, interesting. So, you have to pick your defense. When you're down, you typically throw the center guard. When you're up, you typically go after that corner guard or chop it off. So, that is a really nice center guard.
They did throw the good center guard in. Like you said, if you go after the corner guard, I've taken to calling it the push shot as opposed to a tick, because it's a lot more than a tick.
That's fair. We call it the reverse tick, but a push is not bad. Now, the defense to this is either split it off or go behind it.
That's a pretty good shot there.
They chose the split. Now they throw the guard again, and it kind of starts to make a bit of a mess. So this actually kind of has the feel of plus or minus one at the moment. That was such a great center guard.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it again. And sooner or later, then they can just start ripping things off. But I don't know. This point of the end, really early, kind of feels like a plus or minus one. And I definitely would say the Springers would be happy with forcing one.
Yeah, we have a coach at our club, Wayne Anderson. He, just like you're evaluating the mixed doubles game, he does it for the 4-player game after the second throw. He says he can usually predict the score at that point, just based on the plus minus. This is going to be a fine guard, not a Springer. If it comes in a skosh heavy. Not a bad spot. Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, that's an oops.
Okay.
Because any kind of a hit puts another yellow in the house. Doesn't give you any opportunity to play behind anything. Yeah, that's. I'd have been happy with 2 feet over the hog line over that.
Okay, we'll give him a carrot.
I was going to say that's a bad bucket shot. Even if they could have got it underneath the other red, maybe you could have coaxed some work out of it. But no, that's them hitting and rolling, adding to their pile of yellows and proving me wrong on the plus or minus one.
Oh, well, we can't do that. See what Yasa comes up with here.
Looking to roll anything out of the middle. You don't want clutter in the middle.
Well, it's
pretty nice shot.
It's out in the middle, absolutely. Now, this might be a good time, and looks like they may be keyed up to make them all fly. Smash your way out of it.
Yeah.
It's close to going, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, you probably could get them all spinning and moving, and your shooter would roll possibly under the other one.
This just sounds like a grip it and rip it shot, honestly.
Fireball. He's enjoyed throwing this kind of weight, and he's been pretty accurate. So, yeah, you could see 3 yellows in the corner, and you could even stack your 2 reds. That would make you feel pretty good.
That would be a bonus. That would be the cherry on top. We'll let him have the ice cream, too.
When you get 2 outcomes from 1 shot, that's awesome bucket.
So Garret Springer lets it fly. It's going to be what it's going to be. Let's see.
Ooh,
1,
thin.
2. Oh, just over the top. You only get the double.
Too thin, too thin.
So close, Gord.
It was. He pulls. He lets it fly. You wish you'd have had a sweeper. Like, you really just need to milk it a little bit. But all said, you got rid of 2. Oh, you would have loved to get a roll too, but ooh, bang, bang, squeaky, squeaky. Yeah, just a hair more curl, and you were getting a lot of good outcomes. But still, 2 yellows in the corner.
That is a good outcome, and they're lining up this long guy here.
It's interesting. My gut feeling would have been just to play hit and roll under that red corner. This is certainly makeable, but that higher one's not the danger rock at this point.
And after she does the hokey pokey around it, lining up the angle.
And flaps her hands.
That's what
like
it's
the chicken
all
dance.
about.
All right. Fairly routine double. If you make it, you're sitting 2. Leave him a double back. I think I would take a little tiny risk here and play the hit and roll under the corner. This just kind of smells like being forced.
So Tanida trying to hold it out there. It's going to be really close. Looks a little too thin. Yes, it is. And it slides under.
That was kind of the risk, because we weren't even sure if red was shot or not. If red is shot, now you just kind of split the house or whatever, and you're doing that same kind of force back. You could draw under everything. You could split the house.
I think they do believe that they're shot.
A little piece inside of me is crying that they didn't just play the hit and roll and put the pressure on. But that's in the past.
Yep, we move on now. And that'd be a huge win for Springer Squared to get a force on their opponent's power play.
It's not the super awesome power play.
Super great. Yeah, it's now. That is the moderately disappointing power play in that case.
Yes. So as long as this stays first or second, they're pretty much cementing a force.
Yeah, if you're forced, I mean, you still scored, but it was unsatisfying.
6-4 lead, 2 ends to go. You're still in.
It's not bad.
You have 1 power play to defend against, which will probably be the next end.
Yeah, the Springers were probably going to come with their super crazy awesome power play.
As opposed to the disappointing, sad, melodramatic power play.
Mm-hmm. If you're watching earlier in the morning or earlier yesterday, you get the joke.
I just like the ring of it. All right. Nose hit, B shot. Then they cross their fingers, again. Hope for a miss. You have to be shot here. That's kind of the point.
That's a mustard shot. Yep. No mayonnaise there. It's mustard.
Which is fitting, throwing yellow rocks.
Nice release there from Tanida. Stone on the way down. He's just going to give it a few quick licks here. Looks like no problem. Hit, stick, roll in, just a skosh. Now, do they get really cutesy and try to roll under their own? Why not, right? Well, you have to sit. You have to count.
Yeah. You got to sit 2. Because even if you roll, you're under the T line, so they're still going to have choice of hit or draw. This is no need to waste time overthinking it. Hit yellow thing. Throw some ketchup at the mustard. And this is about, I don't know, the 10th hit in a row for Jill, so.
You're saying she has a good idea of it.
In terms of last rock, yeah, she's thrown a few of these. 3 inches of ice, decent weight, clunk.
It's the power of the poofy coat. Her last in the 6th.
Fixing her broom as she slides along, must close.
See rock, hit rock, done.
Plunk. You could technically take on the double. I don't think anybody would be daring enough to do that at this point, especially when you're already up 1. We're all running on the assumption that red is sitting 2.
Well, I think they are too. Or else people have had a massive lapse of strategy.
All right, once again, see rock, hit rock, don't roll out.
Your mind is pretty simple, isn't it, Gord?
Well, considering the first 4 ends were a litany of angles, precision, and tappy, crashing, honky, cheeky, this is black and white. Smack rock.
Final still of the 6 needs a hit and stick for a single. Off and on, just walking it down. She's got it, no problem. A single point for Matsumura and Tanida. Oh, they do want the measure. Okay, so we'll hang around for that.
Intern.
So we're going to have a measure here.
Might as well. You never know if the rings or the pin are ever so slightly off.
So it turns out they have 2 different micrometers here. This is the CCS one with the big TV numbers on it.
It's almost like Connor could zoom in on it or something. Probably not at the overhead.
No, he can, but I don't think that camera does at that particular moment.
So anybody with superhuman vision, tell us how much the needle moves.
It moved that much.
Brilliant. Just need to move a little bit more. Oh, that's like half the rock.
Yeah, read all day. You'd break the micrometer, so that it is a single point indeed. We'll be back from Martensville after this.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
And welcome back. And we are going back on the power play here It's power play time for the Springers. Dashmel, Gord, Copperthorne, Connor Sims making a limited amount of magic happening in the back.
So for anybody wildly confused why you have two rocks splitting the house, it's because
Why
that
do we have two
yellow
rocks
one
splitting the house,
used
buddy?
to be in front of the red one, and they brilliantly pushed it across. That is
Brilliant.
reverse tick, tap, whatever you want to call it. Excellent shot.
So now there are 3 rocks in play. The next one is still protected.
So now Springer Squared's looking for the put that guard back.
What do you think of the strategy of just splitting the house and maybe coming down to the yellow right now?
I'm all about burning some of their rocks. If you come into the house, it becomes a try not to set up doubles problems and not jams and not whatevers. Now, they do have the opportunity to corner freeze you, but with a corner guard, you can make a 3 or a 4. If you just trading rocks on opposite sides of the house, you get maybe 2. Long-winded way of saying they want 3.
So at the end of the end, backed myself in the corner in that one. They want ice cream and not carrots.
Exactly. Nobody wants veggies on a Saturday afternoon. Now, this is what we call the chop shot, trying to cut that path off, preferably being shot. The kicker is you don't want to be short and make more guards out of it.
So you're doing everything like you were going to corner freeze, but you're stopping short of it, but still shot.
Yeah, corner frozen is fine. A foot short of it's fine. Got to be in the house.
So something like that.
That is a brilliant chop shot. So now that guard's kind of hurting them.
And there we are. It is a super crazy awesome power play.
Congratulations, Connor. You found the magic box. Now, can they come around the guard on the other side and push that yellow one back out? I don't know what the curl that far out is, but that is something you can do here. You can also curl underneath of that yellow one. Corner freezing it back is kind of a waste of a rock because you're not likely going to be shot, and anything hittable just jams on the red one. You could also pull a Nicholas Adine and throw the epic spinner and kick it over top the red one.
Oh, we had a spinner attempt this weekend. Didn't work.
I suspect Adine is the only one to have succeeded at it so far.
I think I saw Brad throw one. Jacobs. And pull it off.
Oh, nice. I'm really curious where they're going to put this, which...
Well, they're going to chunk off the yellow and roll exposed.
That's a decent idea. Split them up a little bit. Unfortunately, the yellow on the other side is now out counting your red one. But you are potentially bringing a double play into the works here. If they nose, it might be a bit high, but if they roll any to the right or the left, double's possible. If I'm, I was just gonna say, if I'm yellow, if I'm Matsumura and Tanida, I'm looking to roll this way over by the other yellow one. That yellow where it is under the corner guard is a really nice rock. Get away from it.
So here comes from Tanida. He gallops up to chase it. Get the hit, roll on over. They are split even across that level and line 1, 2, 3.
It may have rolled far enough. That's really flat to get to that other yellow one. So they're corner freezing the yellow one. Not a bad plan. It's a decent way to create a 2 again. Corner freeze and not a lot of recourse to be had. Weld this on, don't bounce off. But you also got to be second. So you don't have a lot of room for error. Got to be close.
Yeah, Springer on it now. Springer the other.
Curling a bit too much. It's going to be close.
What bucket does that go in?
Well, it's neither awesome nor bad, so it gets to stay on the table. You really wanted to be shot there, and I'm not sure they are. So 2 rocks each left. They could throw a center guard. They could throw a draw underneath of all of those. Like if they put it on the sea of coast, that's also well, that might be a little too close to a triple. That'd be a really nasty hard triple to throw. Right now, I'd be kind of afraid of the hit and roll back under everything. Now, Springer does a flat roll. Maybe they don't move the yellow, but if they're underneath of it all, that's kind of problem. So even throwing a draw back there doesn't change that outcome. Tap your own's not ideal, but it's not terrible. You could throw a guard.
Yeah, the guard is certainly an option. A couple other things you could do there for sure. You have to feel good line 2, though, at the moment.
There's also an interesting opportunity if you wanted to just bounce off the red. Kind of a unnecessary risk, but you could basically play a split on that red, push it a little bit higher, definitely not be second, and roll into the 4-foot. Unnecessarily difficult. I'm throwing something down the middle. Guard, short tap, draw behind your own.
Oh, so that's a thought behind everything.
Yep, something to get 2 in a row, because then if they try a double, the shooter leaves the play. If they stuff it, you're looking really good at a chance for a steal. I'm picturing 2 rocks somewhere in a line down that center line. You don't see the draw under your own in the 4-foot too often, but hey, it can be a powerful tool.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a shot that's, since it's seldom called, it's often not made when called.
Audible.
As if I just brought that into reality. So that's a thought.
Play a double off your own. You would be sitting 2. Unlikely to roll under. You could get the super magic double and roll up under the yellow, but more likely you're going to be wide open. kind of hitting to the side of the yellow. But then that yellow slides over and hits the other yellow, which likely outcounts the red you started with. A lot of things at play there. You could freeze the one in the top of the 4 so that you have this shot for your next one for possibly 3. Down 2, that's a way to get 3 if you really wanted to get daring. Corner freeze that one in the top 4. Then they potentially drive that one straight back. You could play the double. You could also hit the top yellow one into the red and get everything clustered under that corner guard. None of them are easy, though.
Yeah, they're still trying to decide exactly what they want to do here. We see a game coming off the ice. That's Immonen coming off the ice.
I keep coming back to that corner freeze. It's hard, but there's some interesting potential. You risk the short run back, but you still should end up with a shot for 2. I also don't mind hitting the top yellow and rolling way over into the red-yellow pair. You might end up sitting 3 reds under that guard.
So we're going to have a mound visit, and let's get you caught up on those other games right now. And we saw Immonen walk off the ice, and she was walking off as the victor over Remeshlo and Dirksen. 7-2 was the final. We already covered that game that was over relatively quickly. And in a absolute barn burner, it was 9-8 for Nancy Martin and Steve Laycock. Look at that big 5-ender in the 6 for Martin and Laycock. That was a big score there.
They're kind of liking this potential. Basically, yellow into the red double. If you hit high on the red, then the yellow goes over the bottom one. If you hit low into the red, the yellow does catch, but you'll have 2 reds sitting fairly nice in front of it. I like this.
So Garret sends it on its way. This is going to be only clip the back one. Muy interesante. I think that doesn't go in the best bucket there, buddy.
You took out shot rock, but that was the only plus.
That was your best Marvin.
Throw it back.
That was your best Marvin the Martian sound right there.
My Iridium 232 Super Duper Space Modulator.
Misfired. Well, that was better than flashing everything, but it didn't really turn this into a super duper awesome power play.
No, it's going to be one of those moderately unsatisfying ones.
I don't know if it's going to be moderately unsatisfying. This might be give up a steal unsatisfying. They're looking to put this basically right back where it was. Bite the button under your own. Now, you just don't want to leave the red double that they originally looked at. It's a little toasty.
This one is quite toasty.
Going to the coasty.
All right, well, who's second shot? Can you just play off of yours there and spin yours in for 2? I think you can.
If you hit fairly thick on the red, it'll go down, bounce in off the yellow, and your shooter will naturally roll towards the middle. But you got to get fairly thick, and there's a guard in the way. But it is a chance to tie the game.
I think that's the only shot you had to make.
Because if you hit it too thin, then it probably stays partially biting the 12, and then that back one that she just threw works.
They are not going to take it on. They're just going to draw. God bless you, Gord.
Well, thank you.
Even if you didn't sneeze.
I don't know. I kind of feel like you got to try that shot.
I think so, too.
If you're too thin, your shooter just rolls to shot. If you're too thick, the bottom one rolls for shot. But if you get it just right, they both kick in and you get 2.
It's a lot easier to steal 1 than 2. And you only have to do it once. If you only score 1, you got to steal.
I get you can only technically see half a rock, but you only want to hit about a thick, 3/4 might even be too thick. So it's there. He's coming down to sweep, which makes me think they're throwing a draw. Because for the most part, he doesn't sweep or hits. Draw for 1, be down 1. Now, I will say this. Given that it's easier to steal in mixed doubles, if you are not confident you're going to score at least 1 with the red hit, then just get your 1. You don't need unnecessary risk. If this was 4-man, you would be playing the shot for 2 all day long.
Final stone, the 7th end. Just playing the draw in. Or are they trying to walk over and get cute here? You got to have enough weight, or else this isn't even cute at all. It's oh no, and that's a steal of probably just 1.
Probably measurable for at least just 1.
It's the 1 for sure. If it's 2.
You kind of feel like she wasn't committed to that shot, and maybe they should have just went for the draw. Because that wasn't nearly the right weight for that call.
No, that was definitely not the effort not the way you throw it if you're committed to it. So here we got Connor. There we go. Right about to there. And to less than that, it is 2. They're going to look at it again. You're supposed to go all the way around.
Take a shortcut.
But it is 2 yellow. So 4-point lead. The Springers have their work cut out for them when we come back to Martensville after this.
Hey, Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting. We'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, The PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Welcome back to Martensville. It's the 8th end, and it's the Springers down by 4 after giving up a disastrous steal of 2 on their power play.
Yeah, that was just really felt like they couldn't picture it, so they should have just settled for the easy one and kept in a tight match. But that's again in the past, so now you need to do everything you can to get a whole bunch of rocks in the forefoot. I would say the first shot by Matsumura and Tanida was really quite sly. They've gone in and pushed the red one well out of the forefoot. So then if they have to draw against something, it's not that hard to outdo, not likely in the way, so on and so forth. Good freeze, very good freeze.
So here's Tanida getting ready to throw his first.
You could play just a straight freeze. You could look to jiggle things around a bit. They're in such a driver's seat right here. You just need good angles.
Driver's seat for sure.
I would love to see them break up that yellow-red pair. You only need a few inches, but you need to pop them apart. Or guard it. Cool.
Bad
Now,
bucket.
That doesn't smell give up 4, but that was a subtle oops. So if red gets a little bit to the high side, you could actually set up clip the red-yellow pair on the way by, and the bottom yellow one might scooch over top of the back red one, and good things can happen.
For those of you who are interested, if this score holds, there will be 2 tiebreakers required, so there will be draws coming up for the late night. Just got keyed into that by James Gordon, our curling stadium colleague and club manager at Martensville. So we got boots on the ground.
All right, we're looking for just off nose, not freeze. Well, there's a certain bucket that I'd put that in, and it ain't the awesome one.
That's not the good one. No, you need a lot of rocks to count, so losing one is, well, suboptimal.
About as enjoyable as a swimsuit in a blizzard. Now, this kind of shocks me. The typical go-to would be peel the guard. Because how do they score 4 if there's nothing to hide behind? But something to be said about if all my rocks are in the house and yours are not, also hard to score 4. They have 6 rocks to play with, and they accidentally put their own in the back. So conventional thinking would be figure out a way to get rid of 2 more reds. What would you throw here, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, make red go away. Red bad. So find some way to do that. I mean, if you lock onto it, that helps.
Could throw a run back. Worst case scenario, there's no guards in the way.
Yeah, the guard. Yeah, and they can't afford to put one back up at this point.
Oh. But anyways, more yellow in the forefoot is also tough to deal with.
Because in all likelihood, that one in the back 8 is going to have to find a way to count. And there's the aforementioned James Gordon getting the scraper ready. As we are the last game on the ice.
Play a little cutesy split. Little corner freeze nudge.
Not much you can do now.
Yeah, that back red one's far enough back. Again, kudos to the first shot that pushed that red one back that far. Even if you got another one in the 4-foot, that's hard to bring into play. So they're basically... I was actually wondering if you could play hack to put the second yellow out of play, but end up basically frozen on almost the nose of that highest yellow in the house, so that it's kind of aimed at the 2 in the 4-foot. How's that for a complicated scenario?
It sounds at least plausible.
That's what I would probably do. Just try to get almost a nose with hack. Pop that one yellow into that, at least the 12-foot. Aim yourself at the one in the house, and hopefully the angles are right.
The biggest problem with this plan is the other team gets to throw stones also.
Yes. That's where take that same thing, a little bit heavier, and stay frozen on the yellow one was kind of the idealistic picture I was painting.
Matsumura there looking on the one side, and Tanida said, Red Rock, C, hit.
Yeah, I'd be hitting that top red one. Nothing complicated about that. One less red in play, and you will be sitting 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 6. There you go.
Give you all the rope you need, buddy.
Technically, you could play that yellow-red doubly thing in the 4-foot, but highly unnecessary.
And that cuts them down to 3 visits remaining. Should be good for the rest of the game.
He's overthinking it, and she's sitting there going, throw rock at red.
Dan Welke, the crew chief, comes out to move things along.
When the scraper's making noise, that means you're got to speed it up a bit.
Yeah, being an ice maker myself, we hold off as long as we can. He sees the rock. And he hits the rock. Does he get the one in the back as a bonus? Yes, he does. And that will make the math not math. And that is going to be a victory for Matsumura and Tanida. Make the final score 8-4. They improved to 2-2. The Springers fall to 2-2. Gord, your thoughts?
It was a tug of war to start. Nobody capitalized on the opportunities, and then all of a sudden the Springers stopped making nice shots. They made half shots, and Matsumura Tanida basically just said, ours.
All right, and so hold on, and you can come back with us later this evening at 6 o'clock Central. Just an hour from now, we'll have Walczek and Augustinak versus Koana and Aoki. Well, I'll be joined by Jim Nix for that draw. Tune in just to hear us try to pronounce the names. So for right now, for Gord Coppathorne and Connor Sins, I'm Dave Schmel. Good day from Martensville.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the Rip Berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk? And I'll add spinach and ginger. And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, Custom Chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Booster juice, freshly made, your way.